So this is the first video on VHDL programming. A lot of people was actually asking for the videos on VHDL because if you are going for core companies, interviews, or if you are going to work there, you require this hardware description languages, and VHDL is the very commonly used hardware description language. So from today onwards, we'll be doing various sessions of VHDL, both programming and also concepts. Okay. Most important points we'll be doing a separate videos, and the videos will be short videos. Okay, so first in this video we are going to see the introduction, and also we'll be seeing the most important terms that are used in VHDL. Okay, so VHDL, if you don't know what is VHDL, it is VHSIC hardware description language, that is VHDL. HDL stands for Hardware Description Language. Now, Hardware Description Language means this language is used to describe hardware from abstract to concrete level. So, if you take the high-level languages like C, C++ or Java, those languages are more human-friendly languages. But here, this language, that is VHDL, it is a hardware-friendly language. So, when you are coding, you are actually taking into consideration what are the available components, what are the connections, all these things we are taking into consideration. So based on the requirement of the hardware in the whichever circuit you are going to design, based on that we are directly going to program. Okay, so the main advantage is that after you have programmed, the program is synthesized and run, you can directly burn that to the platform which you are using, that is FPGA or any base. Okay, so this is the main advantage of going for a hardware description language. And this hardware description language, that is VHDL, it is formed in 1970s to 1980s, and it is formed by the Department of Defense. Okay. And also another important thing here, we have seen that VHDL is VHSIC hardware description language. Now what is this VHSIC? VHSIC stands for Very High Speed Integrated Circuits. Now why I have included all these terms, because these terms can actually come as come in your examination, that is your competitive examinations. Okay, so this will come as questions, so that's why I have included these terms. And the VHDL is most commonly used by the ASIC vendors, FPGA vendors and all. Okay, so this is hardware, this is VHDL, which is VHSIC hardware description language. And the goal of VHDL is to program, or when it was formed, the goal was to produce or program the next generation ICs. In order to generate or in order to program the next generation ICs, this VHDL was actually formed in this period. Okay, so this is all about as an introduction to VHDL. This much is actually sufficient because we are more focusing on the programming side and the concept side. Okay, theory part we don't need to study that much. Okay, so this is at least this much you should be knowing. Okay, if you are a beginner. Next we are going to see the important terms that are associated with VHDL. Okay, so we are going to see the terms one by one. Next we are going to see the most important terms that we are studying in VHDL. I have not included all the unwanted details. See, while studying all these things, the basic programmings, you will understand what all are these terms, right? So the most precise definition of each and every term we are going to see nextly. Okay, first one is entity. So if you are studying VHDL program, then you should know what is an entity. So an entity is actually the basic building block in a design. So all designs are expressed in terms of entities. Consider that you are going to write a program for a AND gate or an AND gate. So first thing you are going to do is you are going to write an entity. Okay, next actually we'll be uploading a video on how to write an entity. So entity is the basic building block of a design, that is a VHDL design. Okay, next is architecture. Now the architecture is actually the section of the code or the design which describes the behavior of an entity. Okay, so consider that you are going to design a AND gate. Okay, so AND gate means this is an AND gate, right? So AND gate is actually taking two inputs and it is producing one output. So this is the behavior of an AND gate which is going to produce y is equal to AB. This is the behavior. Okay, so this behavior That is, the behavior means the nature or the working. So the working or the behavior we are going to write in which part? In the architecture part. Okay. So in entity we are going to define a AND gate. We are going to name the AND gates. We are going to define the input ports, output ports. All these things we are going to do in which session? In the entity session. In the architecture we are going to write the behavior or the working of this gate. Okay. So in simple words you can say it like this. And again, there are various type of modelings in VHDL. There is behavioral modeling, there is data flow modeling, there is structural modeling. Now based on these modelings, the architecture will vary. Now that is actually a higher end discussion. We'll do that later. Okay. So anyway, you should know that entity is a part where we are going to name the components, or we are going to describe the ports and everything. In architecture session, we are going to write the working of the behavior. Okay. I hope it is clear. Next one is configuration. Okay. So configuration is the place where there is this configuration describes which behavior to use. Now, if you are designing any gate or any component, this component can have multiple behaviors. Okay. This is not the case of an AND gate. Consider that you are going to design some other higher end units or higher end circuits. Okay. So in that case, they can have multiple behaviors, and those multiple behaviors will be described in multiple architectures, right? So in the configuration file or in this configuration, we are saying that which behavior to use for that particular entity. Okay. So it can be thought of as a parts list for a design. Parts list means it is going to describe that for this particular part, this architecture or this behavior is opted, or this behavior is used. Likewise, it is going to describe for which part, which behavior to choose. Okay. So that is configuration. Anyway, we will study all these terms in detail. Next is package. Okay. So in general C, C++ programming also, we are studying the terms package, right? So package is actually is a collection of commonly used data types and functions. Okay. So this package, what we do is we are going to import the packages at the beginning of the program. So if you are using any inbuilt functions or data types in our program or in our code, means you have to take this package, or you have to import this package. Okay. Next is process. Okay. So process is a basic unit of execution in VHDL. All operations that are performed in the VHDL simulation are broken down into small programs or into multiple programs. Okay. So you can think of a process as is a basic unit of execution in VHDL. Okay. So again, we'll also study how to write a process, what are the cases, or what are the things that you have to consider while writing a process. Everything we'll be discussing. Anyway, you should know that a process is a basic unit of execution in VHDL. Next term is a bus. So a bus is a special kind of a signal that may have its drivers turned off. Okay. So if a signal, its drivers are turned off, we call it as a bus. Next one is driver or drivers. So consider that there is a signal, and this signal is being driven by two sources. Then we call the two sources as its drivers. Okay. So generally bus and bus driver like case. Okay. We have studied in microprocessor, microcontroller. In all these cases, we have studied what are buses and what are also drivers. So here, these drivers are actually driving some signals. Okay. So that is a difference. Okay. So there will be a signal line, and this signal line will be driven by the drivers. And for a bus, the bus is actually a signal whose drivers are turned off. Okay. So anyway, we'll study these things in detail. Next one is generic. Okay. Next term is generic. Okay. A generic is a VHDL term for a parameter that passes information to an entity. Consider that a VHDL term is passing some information to an entity, then that VHDL term or parameter, we call it as a generic. Now, what is an attribute? An attribute is a data that is attached to VHDL objects. Okay. So consider that we have formed a VHDL object, or there is a VHDL object, and to which data is been attached. That data is called attribute. Okay, so we'll discuss all these things step by step while doing the VHDL programming. Okay, so anyway, these are the most important terms in VHDL. Okay, in the next video we'll be seeing how to write a entity of that is how to write a entity in VHDL coding. Okay, so I'm really hoping that you have understood some terms of VHDL and the basics of VHDL. So if you are interested in watching VHDL videos, if you are interested in studying VHDL programming and also the important concepts, please to subscribe to the channel, and also please to share it with all your friends, because a lot of people was actually asking for VHDL videos. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching and keep on watching.